Hey, it's your boy Jimmy Britt. The JTC is on the move. Listen, I'm here in Allentown, Pennsylvania with a great man of God, a great man just doing on the move here at the YMCA in Allentown. He comes from Cole Township State Prison where he's a chaplain, and we are blessed to be able to donate some CDs, DVDs for him to take up there to share with the men incarcerated up there so he can share some love and share some light of God. So Rev, here is him, and this is Rev Michael Comick, the great man of God. Rev Michael Comick, tell somebody about Rev.
Well, I thank you first of all for the CDs and DVDs, but I'm originally born in Newark, New Jersey. I now live in Allentown. I've been in prison ministry for over 20 years. I've been at the prison that I'm currently at SCI Cole Township State Prison, for 15 years. It gives me a great opportunity to share with men who think that life is over because of one bad choice, that life isn't over. Actually, it's just beginning. A lot of times it took being incarcerated for you to open your eyes and realize that God is able and that you have a better chance and a second chance to get your life back in order. So I just love what I do. People say, well, you don't make a difference. I'm like, if I can save one life, and to me, that's a reward enough. But I know that God can take one and turn 10,000 around. So we just love doing what we do, and I thank God for JTC for this, and it'll be a great blessing to a lot of people.
Awesome. Well, that kind of answered my question of I was going to ask him about the compelled to get into the prison system, and that was my twist up on there. But listen, in this thing, if I didn't explain enough, there's DVDs, CDs that are from like TD Jakes to Potter House that are going to help these guys to know, to be able to maybe him be able to teach. So I'm going to let him explain it because obviously he would know better than I. What do you think, and how do you think the impact is going to be for the men incarcerated to see what we have here?
You know, sometimes it takes hearing the same thing, but from a different perspective, from a different voice. And with Bishop and others sharing the gospel and sharing life principles with the men, they get opportunity to hear that there is a way that seems right, that really is right, and it feels good, do it, isn't just a slogan, but sometimes we have to encourage these men. Most of these men come from broken homes, and they had that, I'm not going to allow my son to grow up like I did. In essence, exactly what happens. Now you're incarcerated and you're not there to be the father, to be the head of the household that you didn't have. So with this material, I run various classes, Inside Out Dad's program, Christian discipleship classes. With this material, they'll have an opportunity to not only see it, but we'll have teachings from it, we'll run classes over it, we'll have Q&As from it and stuff. So it's going to be a great tool for me to put into their hands and allow them to periodically look at it individually, but we'll do most of it through a large class. I normally have between 75 to 120 men in each class that I run. It's a great facility and a great opportunity. It's not their home. I tell them that they're only in prison for a short time. God has not made this your permanent home, and you will be going back home one day. But the key is what you're going to do when you go back home. And we hope that this material will give them some sort of meat to hold on to, some sort of path, some sort of guidance, some sort of first step to get their lives back in order, because every child we save is one less that's going to go to prison. There's 51,000 men in state prison in the state of Pennsylvania, and 3/4 are black and Hispanic. So we need to make sure that we get back into the hood, get back into the communities, and raise our kids with an opportunity to be all that they can be, all that God created them to be.
51,000, that's a big number. I work in the prison system and I didn't even know it was that big of a number. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and transition right into the next thing. He said getting back into the hoods, getting back into the cities. Also, one thing that this great man does is he helps run an organization that anybody who follows the JTC and follows me knows about the Midnight Basketball Program here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. But I'm gonna let you hear from the man himself that's been running for 7 years now. Go ahead, Rev. Tell them about the Midnight Basketball Program.
It was funny because I was in Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, Illinois, and I seen a program that Dwight Howard ran, and he had a gym full of kids, gym full of inner city kids. He was busting them in, and I tried to figure out how I can bring that back to Pennsylvania. And he gave me a book that told me how to go from A to Z, getting it started. When I got back to Allentown, the mayor, who's a graduate of Moody Bible Institute, he had already gathered some clergy together trying to get this program started. And some of the clergy got together and said, well, I would be the perfect one to run the basketball element of it. And that's how it got started. It started with about 12 churches, it's down to 2. But for 7 years, God's been faithful. Our motto is, and I'm sure you've heard it before, no workshop, no jump shot. And that's no compromise. If you don't come to workshop teaching you life skills, decision making, alternative to just the streets and that thug life. And we're so happy and proud that in 7 years, we haven't had not one incident of fights, anybody going to jail, anybody getting in trouble, and we're very proud of that. Many of our kids have grown and gone on to college, and many of them are just better people. And everybody's not meant for college, and we just try to encourage them to be the best young man that they can be. Also open to women, we haven't had a lot, but we're looking forward, hoping that will expand as well.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, taking part, it's my first year doing it. It was not only a blessing to work with the kids, but I got blessed so much just being around the other men in the organization and seeing, because you hear about all the negative about how nobody cares about the coming up generation. And to walk in here, my first time walking in here, I remember talking to Brother Eric then, and I said, man, there's probably gonna be 20, 30 kids. There was like 100 kids in this gymnasium when I first walked in, and I was floored. I was like, wow. And these kids are giving their Friday nights. So these guys that have been doing this midnight basketball, Rev Mike here, have been doing an amazing job to get the word out there, to get these guys to want to give their Friday nights up. So we are just blessed with the JTC to give our time to such a great event, as well as these DVDs and CDs. So Rev, I just thank you for everything that you do. You are a blessing to all of us. You're a blessing to those men up there, and we just ask you to keep doing what you do. But before we sign off, I'm gonna ask you, for those of us at the JTC that stay on the move, you know, as yourself, somebody who's on the move constantly, try to help encourage them to keep doing what they're doing.
If I can encourage anyone, it's just one life at a time. If each one reach one, we can turn this world back around for a positive. The devil's trying to kill our coming generations. We've probably lost 2 or 3 generations of kids. And people like you at the JTC that are going out talking to kids. Some kids never get an adult to talk to them, to listen to them, to encourage them. If you can just continue to reach out and allow God to work in you and through you, you'll see the difference. Don't get weary in doing good, for in due season you'll reap reward if you faint not. So we just ask you to continue to keep us in prayer, and we will keep you in prayer. And I want to thank all of you at JTC for this blessing, and I guarantee you it'll be used for the benefit of a lot of men, and they will send prayers up and appreciation to each and every one of you for your donation. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Brother E, love you, man.
Well, you heard it here. We have been able to be a blessing, and we just love what we do. God gave us the ability to be on the move. We do what we do because we follow the one who made us. Listen, just remember, if you're going to be out there, try to talk to somebody, be a blessing for somebody. And if you're in the Allentown, Lehigh Valley area, look up this midnight basketball program. If you're a man, donate your time. If you know some teens that need some, go somewhere, look it up and be a part of it. It is a huge blessing. Listen, once again, it's your boy Jimmy Britt with the JTC Exchange. Thanking you once again, Rev Mike, for your time. And remember, if you're going to have a conversation, make it a good one. Deuces.